No. Otherwise they won't be
Hey, look
far
at this.
apart.
I'm wearing mine.
I noticed already.
I clash a bit, but mine's not branded though. I really need to get new shirts. Mine are so disgusting.
I need to get new ones too. They've all got holes in them
I
and
know. Where are these ones from?
Zazzle.
Yeah, that's where my last ones were from.
They're not that cheap, but they're also not.
Yeah, they're fine.
They've lasted me a while.
There is
I always get like men's singlets to shoot.
Yeah.
So like,
You can move in them.
yeah.
There's
And they're not low cut. I'm like this because you're always on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ground. You're like
exactly. That's why I like these
boobs sticking out. Yeah. I just like having a singlet though. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to
season 2,
episode 4, members only deep dive, and today Kirstie and I are going to chat all about session fees.
Yes.
Because you're just about to start doing something a little bit differently, right?
Yeah, I've just changed mine, my structure a little bit. By the way, guys, did you notice?
We're back! We're in person. Kirstie's in Australia. Yay!
So yeah, you got proper audio today.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've just changed my structure of my pricing for the session fee.
Mm-hmm.
So mine used to be like yours and most photographers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Session fee up front, no prints or products included or print credit, and that was that.
So the session fee basically covers
Time.
the shoot itself,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're doing an in-person ordering appointment, I guess it also covers that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Basic structure. Yeah.
So that's how it was. Well, maybe you should run through yours first, actually, properly.
Well, yeah, because mine's probably
Makes
like a
sense.
generic
Mm-hmm.
portrait session thing. So I have 2 different session types. I have mini sessions, or I call them full sessions, but just like a standard session. The mini sessions are shorter. They take place in 2 location options, both of which are a 5-minute drive from me, and they're sort of designed for clients with a smaller budget. A lot of people that buy gift vouchers tend to buy the mini session ones, and they are half the price as my normal session. The normal sessions has more location options, all the dogs that are included in their family, whereas the mini sessions are just 1 dog. They pay for each additional dog, and no time limits, that sort of thing. So they're just more of a normal full experience, like an afternoon together theoretically. So the session fee itself doesn't include any prints, digital files, albums, and that's what's written on my website. So it has the 2 options, and then at the bottom it says, please note, session fee does not include any prints, files, digital albums, that sort of thing. Those are priced separately and available to purchase after our session.
Yes. So, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your clients each year, what percentage would be booking each session, and how many are booking from specials? Like from an expo or whatever.
Right, I don't know 100% what it would be, but let's say, so the Dog Lovers Show, which is the expo that I do every year,
It's like half, right?
that would be maybe 40%.
Okay, yeah. So they're getting special pricing?
They get a full session, so
Yeah.
my normal session, for a special pricing. I won't go into how to do expos, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
a whole
another
other deep dive. But so they get it discounted, but it's the full session experience. And it includes a $100 print credit.
Okay, so that's 40% of your clients come that
I'd
way?
say, yeah, about 40%.
Okay.
Maybe a little less, maybe about 30% when I do book projects.
Okay,
So because I have more clients this year, so then the percentage would change. So that, and then so the book project type of things, so this year's Tales of Adoption, they are mini session type situations, so much more controlled by me, much shorter sessions, and it's, I guess the idea of mini sessions is a slightly more volume versus sales type situation. It's a little more up in the air what people might order. Some people just want to be in the book. Some people want to treat it like a whole experience. I have people buy the $3,000 package. Like,
Yeah.
you get
A range.
all ends of the scale. Whereas if it's someone who's just inquiring mini session or full session, you can lead them to one or the other depending on what they want.
Yes. Yeah.
So you don't get the option to do that with the book. So you get kind of a full range of things, which is why I control the locations a bit more and keep them shorter. So if, say, 30% would be Dog Lovers Show, another 30% would be the book, and then the rest would be inquiries, gift vouchers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, cool.
So most of my inquiries come, about 40%. Most of my inquiries come from Google rather than word of mouth. I tend to find that word of mouth is a long-term thing. And then I get quite a few people buy gift vouchers.
Yes.
So most of the people buying gift vouchers tend to buy pocket sessions, the mini sessions. Most of the people buying their own ones tend to buy full sessions.
Yeah.
So again, it's probably 50-50 between that 40%.
Okay. So you've got maybe 20% of your clients who are actively jumping on the website and booking. And then the rest of your clients are all coming from other ways, right?
Marketing strategies.
Active marketing or gift certificates.
Yeah.
Right. So I had the same thing. That's why I asked. So I noticed, because I've got Shane, the nerd, tracking my website with Google Analytics, and I noticed that everyone did the same thing. They went gallery, pricing, download pricing, never call or contact.
Really?
And I was like, okay. So maybe I was getting 15 shoots a year that were people actually booking through the website. But how many was I losing who weren't ever calling or booking through the website once they saw pricing? And I thought, okay, I have no problem selling to people.
Yeah.
I have no problem with people loving their images. That's nothing. My average sale
it's getting someone to commit to the session.
In the first place. Yeah, and I thought, okay.
Mine too. That's why I've got all these different marketing strategies to get them to, that's why I don't mind doing the books for such a lower session fee. I don't mind doing a sale for the one time of the year at the expo. Because the issue is getting them to commit to the session. Once they're committed to the session, then the profit is in the sales. That's why I'm like, the session fee is to get them to commit.
Right. So I had the same thing.
Interesting.
So I was like, okay, so they're scared. What is someone's reason for not booking? And I've asked everyone, I always ask, right? And why did it take you so long to book? Oh, I didn't think my dog would be well behaved. You know them, you've heard them all, right? Oh, I wanted to lose weight. We've spoken about these before.
Yeah.
It's always the same things. And it's like, basically they know my work is good. They don't know if they're going to be good enough to look like everybody else does in the photos.
Yeah.
So how can I remove that? This was my question to myself. How can I remove those objections, or take on their fear, their risk, myself? And I thought, well, if they don't lose anything by having the shoot and then not liking their photos, then they're not going to be scared to have the shoot. So I thought, okay, I can either delete the session fee in the first place, and in that way there's no commitment or whatever.
Yeah, that would be the issue.
So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But what I could do is make the session fee refundable. And I thought that's still not going to be enough, because people are never going to ask for a refund.
Yeah.
Hardly ever. But what if I made it entirely print credit? And then that way they've still got to put money down in the first place. I don't rock up to their appointment, to their shoot, until they've paid. I don't even block it in the calendar. And if they don't come to their ordering appointment, they can't get their money back. And they can't get their print credit.
That's clever, because you don't want someone doing the shoot and then deciding, actually we don't have the budget or whatever, let's just get the refund before they even see the photos.
Because that's when they fall in love with them and they go, we have to find a way to have them. So I thought, okay, well at the moment, majority of my clients are coming from some form of promotion where they're not paying a full $250 session fee anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not losing anything, because I already budget off my clients not paying a full session fee.
Yeah.
And in fact, most of my clients don't pay a session fee at all, they just pay a holding fee, which is only $50. So, because of promotions.
Yeah, that's what people have to understand, is the session fee is not the money maker.
No, not at all.
all.
And the whole point of it is to get them to commit and to make sure that the client booking is in a position to spend at least X amount.
So that would be the problem with not having a session fee at all, beside the commitment problem, is that you're not then
qualifying,
anyone who's able to afford, say, $250, which is what my standard fee is.
Mine was too.
Then theoretically they should be able to afford everything
another
else.
$250
If they can't afford the session fee, then they can't afford anything.
Exactly. So that was my same theory. So I thought, okay, well, it has to be high enough. So I've gone, okay, my revenue for the year is all based off sales, and so I don't need that extra $250 anyway. I'm not getting it anyway, so I might as well remove that.
Yeah.
But I want the commitment still, blah, blah, blah. And so I decided, okay, $199. They pay it up front. That's entirely print credit, so when they come in to order, that's deducted from whatever they order. If when they come in they don't like their images, it's refundable.
Yeah.
I've never ever had anybody not like their images enough to buy one 8x10.
So that is exactly the same theory as how I do my expo.
Yeah, okay.
So the sale is less than $100, and it includes $100 print credit.
Yeah.
And the way that I sell it is basically what you've got is you've covered yourself for an 8x12. You have that definitely in the bag. If you want to get anything extra, you can. But essentially, you're getting the session and the print guaranteed, and then you
go from there.
You go from
Yeah.
there.
The thing was, I try always to look at photography not as a photographer. Because photographers, we all tend, I'm not taking myself out of this, me as well, we all tend to look, oh, what's the next door photographer doing? In the early days at least, I was doing that. And oh, okay, well, everyone else charges a session fee, so that's what I'll charge.
Yeah.
But from a client's point of view, they don't get anything for that.
Well, I understand charging a session fee, and if I was just starting out and not confident in my sales tactics,
yes, that's a good point to make.
Then I would be, because early days, I might have been making $500 sales and I had a $250 session fee. I wasn't gonna, you don't cancel out the session fee. That then is a significant portion of what the whole thing is. It's only when, as you say, you start doing marketing strategies where the session fee is,
Well, I was hardly ever getting that $250 anyway. So it made no difference to me because it was stopping people from booking.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, if I can get those people to, because they were worried, like, I'm going to lose $250 because my photos won't be good, I will look fat, my dog won't sit still, blah, blah, blah. Because they understood they were paying for my time, but that didn't actually get them a physical product.
So what has stopped me from doing this, because I've been thinking about it as well, there's been a few discussions online with people, it's changing, I think, especially because if you don't want to include digital files, this still feels like something should be included. What I'll be interested in here is how you wording it, because that's the main reason why I made the switch, is it feels clunky to be like, how are you actually going to word it?
Yeah, it's already done. It's live. And by the way, I used to get, you're going to look it up. I used to get maybe 5 inquiries maybe 10 inquiries a year.
Yeah.
With the $250 session fee. And half of, I don't know how many would book, but maybe 10 people would book a year with $250 session fee. Since I made the change in 3 weeks, I've had the same amount of inquiries.
Really?
Yeah. And they're converting. You found it?
So it's a reservation fee.
Yeah.
So standard pet photo shoot, $199, says what it includes. Reservation fee will be deducted from your order. It still feels
not clear
confusing to me.
There would be a way to make it clearer. But obviously it's working because people are...
Yeah.
So the only thing that's going to be hard for me now...
It feels potentially, sorry to interrupt you, it's more like it's a deposit.
Yeah, well it is.
That might be an interesting vocabulary to
use deposit.
Yeah.
I like reservation fee because it sounds like, I'm not paying for their time, I'm paying to lock the calendar so that nobody else, and that's how I say
that's
it.
True.
I say that's to make sure that you're committed to that time, because if you don't rock up, then somebody else has missed out. And I make it's not about me, it's about the person missing out.
Yes.
That's what I always say. And so it's not that I don't trust you, this is the rules. It's $199, and because I understand that you're not paying for my time. I'm not making you pay for my time, so that what you've already paid, that $200, is going to be taken off whatever you order through me. On the phone, it's obviously very easy to explain.
Yeah.
But you don't really do phones, so.
No, I don't.
The phone rang before, and Kate was like,
We were in the middle of
Message
chatting.
bank.
Yeah. Well, it didn't even come through to, because I get it forwarded to my mobile.
Yeah.
It didn't even do that, so can't have been important.
Nah. Anyway, so that's what I've done. I've changed it, and it's the only thing I'm worried about is gift vouchers.
Yep.
And promotions. So because my promotions used to be
that was my other thing.
Yes.
How do I now say $90 includes?
Mm-hmm. So I think it just has to be better value at a $1 show. That's what has happened.
So my issue. So next year will be my last $1 show.
Yes, I remember.
And just because I have other marketing strategies now, anyway, that's the whole thing. Well, we will talk about expos. I think it's very exciting. I do love them as a way to grow your business. It just feels time to stop doing them. But so the reason why I haven't raised my smallest print size price above $100 is because I like
Dog Love Show.
At the Dog Lover Show being able to. I do also like for inquiries being able to say print start at blah 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 blah. Print start at $85. So I like it being under 100, but you could raise it and then the Dog Lover Show value is higher for a thing, that sort of thing.
I mean, it's been how many years? 5, 6 years, the Dog Lover Show.
Same sale every year.
And the same thing. So the cost of everything has gone up. So people now would be like, oh, $150, like, of course, because time, like, prices change over time. Like, I think that would be fine. Yeah, I've got the same. So I've had a couple of gift certificate inquiries since I've changed it, and I just sell a print credit for a dollar amount for gift certificates. So I say, yep, just whatever dollar amount you want.
Yeah.
But when they come into book now, am I then going to double dip and say you need to pay some holding fee? Probably not, because I've already got money.
Yeah,
from
I don't
somebody
think
else.
I would have to pay.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And then it's the same. It's not a problem.
Yeah, so that's the whole reason why I try to at the inquiry stage direct. Depending, so if someone's buying a gift voucher for their partner, I'll direct them towards a full session.
Yes, me too.
If someone's buying a gift voucher for a wedding present or it's a group birthday present, like that sort of thing, I'll direct them towards a pocket. Because and if depending on their budget, I'll say get a mini session and add print credits, and then they'll have something included.
Yeah.
So I would be able to do that when. But you can just say, and you can add extra print credits so they can get something bigger. That's the thing. But because I do have these mini session options, then it gives me the flexibility to. I don't mind losing a little bit of time.
But you could do the same. It could be because the fee is actually for blocking that calendar. So you're blocking half an hour for a mini session, let's say. Okay, for your half an hour time slot, it's $99 or how much, which is then deducted off your order.
Yeah.
Just increase your prices by $99. Like your price list. That's what I've got it built into my price list now. Yeah. So this makes zero difference. I just want to clarify to my bottom line, like to my profit margins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you could do that, and then you could say, okay, well, a full session is actually this much time, and if you base it off $99 per half an hour, then it needs to be X. And then it's not dead money to them because they get it off their prints, and then it's refundable. That's the thing.
What other situation, what other person are we ever hiring where we don't get anything?
Exactly. That's what I keep saying, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, I understand why the photographer wants that money in the first place, but if you don't trust in your work enough that somebody's going to buy what you're actually creating, then you shouldn't be charging, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So there's no point in actually charging them. I mean, it's like a plumber. You get a call-out fee, but you're paying for him to come to your house. It's kind of like that. And
that's true, actually. It's like a plumber, you get a call-out fee.
But a call-out fee is never $250.
Well, sometimes it is. The difference is the call-out fee is included in... Actually, so I'd be shitty if I got a plumber come out and I had the call-out fee and nothing got done.
Yes, exactly. So
there's always service fees and that sort of thing, but they're in with
something else.
Everything.
I was just feeling like, okay,
it's the fact that this is in state, like the fact that they're paying for something and they haven't got anything yet, and they might not get anything yet.
Well, and the whole reason that we charge it in the first place is for a security for us. But by doing that, people just, then they don't feel secure. And so then they're like, well, why do I have to take all the risk? I mean, it's subconscious. They don't actually think I'm owning the risk here. But that's what we're asking them to do. Like, oh, please, trust me that I'm going to deliver images that I actually could get your dog to sit still.
Yes.
They don't know if we can, like, they think all of these dogs are well behaved. And it's like, actually, that's on a lead. Or I don't know if it is, but...
Yeah, she would be.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, she's actually on a lead that... I mean, yeah, we can spend all this time putting Facebook Lives and doing blog posts and all this saying, these dogs are actually all on leads.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it make more sense to say, like, look, trust us that we're going to do a good job, but if we don't, you can have it back.
It's more of, so there are two different approaches with photography sessions. There are people like we both think that way. The alternative are people who have minimum orders and like who are really not, who are going the other way, not willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are some photographers out there who have the session fee and there's a minimum $500 order, for example.
That's asking the client a lot.
The client. Now, if I mean, obviously it works for some people. I would never have that. That's a lie. I've now started introducing it into my countrywide cottages sessions.
That's fair because you're traveling like 3 hours.
Because I have to travel and I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
So, yes, I had to talk to the owner of the business because I'm like have started lightly introducing it into inquiries. So countrywide cottages is a dog-friendly accommodation. I have a partnership with them, but it's 3 hours travel now. So it used to only be 45 minutes because I used to live closer, but we've been partnering for years now. So 3 hours round trip for the same sales, and it's not guaranteed sale.
Yeah.
As is any session, not guaranteed sale. But when I've travelled that far for it, I'm like, Australia isn't working for me. So I've started introducing that there's minimum packages. But that feels different like that.
That's
if you were doing any sort of travel sessions, I would be wanting to qualify with the customer that they were willing to spend a minimum amount. But yeah, it's sort of taking that risk off the...
That's what I think all the time, like, okay, what is stopping the client from booking? That's the thing to always consider, like, what is stopping them from booking? What is stopping them from buying? Like, because if you can answer those, because there's so much psychology that goes into running a business and marketing and everything. And it's like, okay, well, this is the one thing I know is definitely stopping people, that it's not they don't think I'm good, it's that they think their dog isn't good.
Yes, absolutely. It's always a worry, and that their experience won't be the same experience that everyone has.
And so if I say, yeah, but I know I can do it enough to say that I'm guaranteeing this, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, because that $200 you give me, I will give it back if you don't like your photos. Yeah. I mean, how many places give a guarantee? Yeah.
Well, I like giving it. I like giving a guarantee, and I like hiring anyone that gives a guarantee as well. Just
exactly. That's another thing, is to pay attention to your own buying habits. And if you know every time you look for a plumber that you look for somebody who doesn't charge a call-out fee, or I don't know, bad example, but you get the point, then maybe there's a way you can implement that into your own business. That's what I always, like I said, I try to think like not a photographer. Yeah. And whenever I do a promotion, I walk into Joe Mercer shoes or something and I think, that's a good idea what they're doing there. Instead of discounting, they're throwing in something extra or whatever the thing. Really, I think for both of us, whatever the session is or whatever that is, it's just to get them booking. I don't mind throwing it away. So it's an interesting. Yeah. Well, it seems to be working. It's only been short term, like less than a month. But I feel like people are like less hesitant to book because they see, oh, well, if it doesn't work, we'll get it back. Yeah. And I tell them that on the phone, like, I 100% believe that you're going to love your images because your dog sounds awesome, get them all excited and blah, blah, blah. However, if for whatever reason you don't like them and there's not one image that you'd want as an 8x10, I'm more than happy to give it back to you. Yeah, that's what I would say. There's no questions asked, refund, or we'll reshoot. Yeah. Oh yeah, reshoot is also an option, of course. Yeah, don't mind. It's never had to happen, so. No, neither. Alright, let's move on to the question of the week. Yeah!
Okay, so let's move on to our question of the week. So from the members only group of the Pet Photographers Club, Whitney was asking, I'm just going to read out her whole question. So Whitney said, "Hi friends, wanting some feedback. I've shot outdoors doing pet photography for 10 years and I really want to learn light, so I opened a studio last month. I want to do some holiday mini shoots to 1, promote the studio, and 2, fundraise for 2 different rescues. I'm going to offer 15-minute sessions that include 1 digital file for $60. Those proceeds will be split with a local rescue. If the pet owner brings an item from the wish list of the other shelter, they'll receive an 8x10 print as well. I want to get people in and hopefully they'll want to come back and book me for outdoor work, but I don't want to cheapen my brand either. I'm also very new to lighting and I really want this chance to get a lot of experience with dogs in my studio. Any thoughts on pricing?" So,
I think that sounds genius.
I think it's a fantastic
I
strategy.
love the bring something for the shelter that's on their wish list and I'll gift you something in return. I think that's Whitney, genius.
Yep, really, really love it. I think it's going to work really well. As we've both been saying this whole episode, I don't think having a lower session fee cheapens it
No,
as well.
not when you're also, it matches the time commitment.
Yep.
She's saying 15-minute session.
And also not when, like, presumably all your prints and digital files and all of that pricing is going to stay the same. Your level of professionalism is going to stay the same. Like, everything's the same. Because it's a fundraiser, that's the reason that it's cheaper.
Exactly.
So as long as I don't like it when people go, "Hey, it's autumn, so I'm having a 25% off sale again," and then like 2 months later there's a 50%
Spring,
like it's like, if there's no real reason, having a fundraiser is a real reason. I don't mind having my annual sale because it's an annual sale, like there's a reason behind it. But fundraisers, I love that being the reasoning why. As you said, it's a shorter session fee, so that explains it. I think it's a great idea. I don't think it will cheapen it at all. It's good karma. Like, fundraising projects are just win-win-win in my mind.
Exactly. So you said something interesting then though, Caitlin. You said assuming that the products are going to be priced the same.
Yes.
But your pocket sessions, they're not priced the same, right?
The products are priced the same. The packages are different.
Ah, got it.
So an 8x12 is the same for anything. It's just I have for mini sessions, I've got some packages that are just built off non-canvas because
lower price point options.
It's a lower price point because typically mini sessions aren't looking for canvas, they're looking for smaller prints, that sort of thing.
And that makes sense because the same amount of time goes into editing and everything, and so why would the same product cost less for somebody who's paid a shorter session?
A mini session client or a full session client,
they're going to pay
the same for that. They're paying the same for an album. They're paying the same for the full USB. Like, everything is the same. It's just different packages.
Yes, and because you've structured them so that you're still making the right amount of money off a pocket session as you need to, because like Caitlin said, they're both close to her home. So she saves time on that. She shoots less because shorter period, which means less editing. And their online galleries mostly, right?
A lot of the time, so in general, I would say the sales for a pocket session are probably about half of what a full session sales is.
And the time?
And the time is also about half.
So it's still...
So I don't mind. Like, I'll fit 2 pocket sessions in for the same amount of time as I'll do a full session, and that's often how my Saturdays play out. I might have 2 pocket sessions and then a full session.
So do you prioritise the full session to be in the late afternoon for the nicest light, or you don't care?
I don't care about light.
Don't repeat that.
I'm just confident to shoot in any lighting situation.
That's a better way to say that. Yeah.
So I guess the priority is on what suits the client's schedule most.
To work with them rather than against the weather.
At inquiry stage, I'll say the lighting is nicest in the afternoon, but it's the client who's picking their time and day, so it's then their prerogative to decide, do I want a session next week at 1 p.m. or am I willing to wait 2 months for a 5 p.m. session?
Yes. The other thing though to note there, just quickly, is Caitlin lives in Melbourne, and Melbourne is overcast like 85% of the year. Like right now it is 12:15 and we still have pretty soft shadows outside. In Adelaide, and this is a full blue sky day by the way. In Adelaide where I live, those shadows would be so harsh right now.
The difference is more because I shoot in specific locations. So I have 5 locations that I shoot at. the only way you can shoot at a different sort of location is a full session client can request a location, and I might, depending on what they're requesting, do it if they don't live too far away, that sort of thing. But so I have my 5 locations that I'm aware that any time of day there are areas in that park that I have shade. If I was going to a location that I wasn't familiar with, there's no way I would agree to a 12 p.m. session.
Yeah. What about the beach?
I only do beach if it's paired with
Also park.
a park because I want the shade.
Yeah.
So for example, I had a full session last weekend and they wanted the beach, and they were quite persistent on we want the beach, but they had a son, so they had a specific schedule, so we needed to do it about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was pretty sunny at this time of year. So I'm like, there's absolutely no way I'm just doing it. I kind of had to force her because she kept being like, no, we're really only interested in the beach, and I had to sort of put my foot down and be like, we need to start at the park. One, I don't think you get enough variety at a beach only session in general, but 2, that we're not going to have enough shade. We need to start at the park for me to be able to give you the proper experience that you're paying for. So once I educated her, we did that, but I'm like, I just absolutely would not do a beach only session.
But that's interesting because, I don't know, what's the time? Maybe I'll just say quickly, I'm actually about to change the way also that I approach booking the sessions as well. And I'm actually going back to how I used to do them in the very beginning, before I changed my focus. And so now I'm starting with, when we're talking about location, I start with what would suit your home, beach, forest or park. And they're like, oh, I hadn't considered that. Because I was just thinking that like little George loves the beach.
That's what they always go, that whenever someone picks beach, it's normally because they go, my dog loves the beach. So then I'm like, we'll end at the beach.
Yeah.
But you also have to have a session where the dog's wet the whole
No, exactly.
All of it is.
But I think that's really important to know, okay, the dog loves the beach, great, because this is memories of your dog for the future to look back on. And so you want those photos at the beach. But if your house is like a little country cottage, a bright blue sky is not going to suit a little country cottage. And the same with if you're at the beach and you've got all, your house is all white, exactly, and bright, and then we've got the dark forest. And then you say to me, oh, I hate bright green grass. I hate the colour green. I don't want green on my walls. And I'm like, oh, we should tell me that beforehand. So now I'm like, okay, well, this is going to help me sell if I choose the right location. So I'll always, from now on, I'm starting with that one. So that'll be interesting, like, if I have your situation where they're saying, I want the beach, and we've just said it's a 10 a.m. session, and I'm going to be going, cool, let's do the beach, but let's also start at the park for the shade. Because I'm also
just so you
being
can
a bit lenient with
get the
times
portraits, so you can get
the nice skin tones,
like the family portraits where it's all close-ups and that sort of thing. It doesn't matter what the background is in that sort of situation, you just want something slightly out of focus. And then you have that's how I always approach beach shots, is most of it's at the park, and then we finish, say, half an hour at the beach.
Some action.
Most of that is action shots, some walking. It's more energetic and that sort of thing. Anyway, so that's our episode on sessions.
Yes,
I'm really interested to hear how that goes. Alright, so that's everything for this week. Hope you guys found it helpful. Leave a question in the group if you have anything.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next week.
Bye.